All right, folks, back on the Bossman Show. New Lamar Cardinals head coach Pete Rossomando with me here on the Bossman Show. Coach Pete, before we get started, we both spent time in Nashville together. I was at Tennessee State. He was at Vanderbilt. So we got that connection going on too, Coach Pete.
Yeah. We just actually moved the whole family down from Nashville about 2 weeks ago. So happy to be down in Southeast Texas.
Hey, at least with the same thing as Tennessee, no income taxes. That's what's got that going for us.
That's a plus. We have hurricanes though; they don't.
Yeah, you get that part right there. That part right there. Well, Coach Pete, tell me, man, how did it feel to get to this job, man? You was interim coach at Charlotte, closing that thing out there after Coach Higley got let go, unfortunately. But now you hear Lamar leading this program, trying to rebuild this thing the right way, man. Tell me how it feels.
It's been good. I just I had the opportunity to lead Charlotte for the last 4 games, and I think we went 2-2, and we had a chance to win a third, and guys just responded really well, and had a chance to stay on there, but had this opportunity with Jeff O'Malley and Jaime Taylor, our president, and I couldn't turn it down. And it's been a pretty smooth transition. They've been really welcoming. Everybody around here has, and it's been really good. I mean, our players really have bought into what we're teaching and what the staff is bringing to the table right now. So they're responding. We hired an unbelievable strength coach, transformative guys doing a phenomenal job with those guys right now.
No doubt, Coach Pete, you said something very important. People don't understand this about football teams. The strength guy is a very important guy on that staff. He sees the guys more than you all see the guys. He keeps them, gets them strong, gets them in shape so they don't get hurt on Saturdays when they're playing hard as heck, trying to get after it out there on Saturdays. So the fans don't understand how important a strength guy really is to a program and its functionality as well.
Yeah, he's the number one guy on the staff right now, especially now in summertime. He gets to spend the most time with them, and really he's part mentor, he's part dad, he's obviously part developer. That guy holds a lot. He wears a lot of hats in the organization, and our guy Pat Walker has just done a tremendous job getting these guys ready for spring ball and now getting them ready for for fall camp.
And Coach Pete, for this summer session here, is it more going to be about them individually getting stronger, doing the individual drills? You're kind of so maybe putting some things in before fall camp gets going with these guys. We have for a little while you have on campus this summer.
Yeah, I mean, we've been blessed. I think our president has really seen that really important to bring our freshmen in for the entire summer. So we got our entire team on campus right now. They're not only doing strength and conditioning, but they're also doing schoolwork. They're also doing Bible study. They're also doing film study with the coaches. They're getting an opportunity to get the installation before we get to fall camp. And, when they get it in fall, it'll be the second time. And as you know, the more you get that installation, the easier it becomes to be able to perform when the time comes. So we just want to continue to keep feeding these guys that way. And, this summer's it's big for us. I told our guys, plan your vacations, our coaches plan your vacations, but when you're in town, you're here and you're in the building with the guys and making sure that they know you're accessible.
No doubt. And Coach Pete, I do believe this too, man. The summertime is where you build that camaraderie and chemistry. There's this time where you ran those gassers, when you're doing individual work, when you're watching film together, when you don't have to really be in class like all the time. So when you build that bond, because you and I both know playing football, adversity is going to hit somewhere, somehow. It's going to be a bad game or a weather game, whatever it may be. But though these times right now builds that callus to where we know we're one together, we're connected, we can get this done, we stick together.
Amen. Couldn't say it any better than that. That's really what it is all about. It's about, creating those bonds and creating that family. And, really when you love each other and you love each other, it's hard to let each other down. It's kind of like your own family. It's hard to look at your kids in the eye and let them down, and I think it's the same way with our players and what they're going through right now. It's going to be hard to let each other down. I think they're really building that right now, and it's fun to watch, and fun to watch leaders emerge. And I think those things are something that everybody takes for granted in the summertime.
And Coach Pete, for the parents watching this show and listening into the show, whether it's the show with, talk about the pillars of your program. what is going to be the ideal young man you look for to want to become a Lamar Cardinal, come to Beaumont, make a difference in that community, and for the university as well?
Well, I mean, obviously we want to have great football players. Can't win without those guys, but the character piece is really important to me. And talking to the high school coach, talking to the guidance counselors, talking to the teachers in the building, really important to know what kind of young man we're getting in the program. And not that they all have to be perfect, because we know there's no perfect people out there, but we want to make sure we get the right guys that are going to fit our culture and the way we want to go about our business. And right now, really what we're looking for is high character guys that can play football, that aren't afraid to lay it all on the line, and really aren't afraid to fail. Because really failing is growth, and we want to make sure that each time we fail, we learn from it. We want to have really highly intelligent guys that can do that, and that's really what we're out there trying to get. And I know we got it in this freshman class. Feel really good about those guys. Watching them work out, watching them, just interact with each other. It's been pretty special.
And Coach Pete also been in Texas, it's a deep, deep place to recruit from. So
Yeah,
much talent down there. And you can pretty much draw a circle or radius around Beaumont to go either direction and
yeah.
find anything you need. So talk about being in a place where you can just really just tap into that system, to have high school coaches know who you are, and guys who from played up in the FBS want to come down and maybe put some good film out there if it's the right fit. Being down there in Texas, man, you can find all that without doing too much. It's also good for the recruiting budget as well. It makes administrators very happy too.
Yeah, I mean, you draw a circle 4.5 hours around, Beaumont, and you're going to find some of the best talent in the country. And I think the key is to get them to stay close to home. And I think being in a specific spot, it gives those guys a chance for their family to come see them play every weekend. I think if they got to jump on a plane and fly out to see their kids play, the chances are they're not going to do it every week. And I think now the way we're recruiting, really all Texas pretty much, and really getting those guys here so that their families come watch and play, and create a really good fan base and really good energy around the program. And I mean, if anyone that looks around the state knows, man, you don't have to go somewhere else to find the riches. They're here.
You get up there, like high school football in Texas is better than some college football, to be honest. State,
Man, the
it's so
facilities certainly are, yeah, for sure.
you got that right, and me being from Atlanta here, same thing here in Georgia. It's coached at a different level too, Coach Peter. I think that's what people don't understand about high school football in Georgia and Texas, certain states in Florida. It's coached at a different level. So on a higher level of football is coached out here, and you get
Yeah.
guys from these states. They're ready to play as freshmen right away for you. They have the IQ there. They know how to work hard. It's out here to try to teach them habits. They already have them. They used to playing against high competition because of states they had to play ball in.
The only thing you worry about on some of those programs is, are those kids tapped out when they get to the college level? Because a lot of those are run just like colleges. When you go to Grayson, you go to some of those places in Georgia, and you go to any of these places here in the Metroplex in Dallas, where these kids have phenomenal facilities, trainers, they have full-time strength coaches, they have nutrition programs. Have they reached their peak yet? And I think that's the thing you got to look at as you evaluate talent, and as you look at what you're going to get yourself into when you get these guys. But the good news is a lot of them are playing high level of football, so when they get to the college level, they're not shocked by the speed and the physicality of the game.
100%. And you're in the Southland Conference, Coach Pete. Talk about the league and how deep it is for the talent in that league as well, and the coaching, because I feel like it's FCS conferences don't get the shine they deserve, but that league is tough every week. The way the football is played, man, it's one of a kind. I think people really tap into it more and see what you all are doing down in that conference.
Well, I think everyone in our conferences, they're doing exactly what we're doing, and they're staying local and how they recruit, and they're making sure that they get the best guys in Texas too. So, we have to do something a little bit different. We got, I know our facilities in our league are, if not the top, pretty close to the top, and I think that helps sell to other people. But the Southland Conference, man, they got dudes everywhere. Southeast Louisiana, Nichols, McNeese, UIW is 1 or 2 years in a row, continues to stack the deck with transfer players. And, I just think each week you got to be prepared. You got to bring a little bit something extra to the table. Especially if you start winning some games, man, you get that bullseye on your back. People are going to come looking for you. So we want to make sure we get that bullseye. Pressure's a privilege, as you know.
You got that right. You got a pretty good non-conference schedule too, Coach P. Idaho, at Louisiana on the road, South Dakota's, and also Lincoln at home there. So talk about that, making that schedule for you guys, for your non-conference guys, kind of test them before they get into that conference play that you all have that tough gauntlet. Unfortunately, you coming up there after those
Yeah.
4 games.
Well, I mean, you got to play games. I mean, you can't always schedule teams that you're supposed to beat. You got to go out there and beat good teams, and we certainly got a lot of them on our schedule this year. And starts at home with Idaho, coming down here in August, and Southeast Texas. You got to feel good that at least the heat and the humidity is going to give us a little bit of an advantage. But that's a playoff team, and that's a team that's really well coached, and they understand who they are. And we're kind of still finding out who we are. And I think that those things are all going to be, they're all going to be a huge factor in how we start the season and how we continue to roll. But one of the things we always talk about is putting standards over circumstances, not worrying about any of that stuff, and continue to strive towards our standard.
I hear that, Coach P. Don't ask this, man. My father is a coach. He made it 4 years old come August here. What got you into coaching? I remember my father tell me about he's wanted to help impact young men. So what kind of brought you into business, wanting to be a coach and want to do this, make this your life journey and your life your path for your life?
Well, I think it's first started out as a really cool thing to do. I think you're good at something, you feel good about how you learn things in football, and you're like, man, maybe I can turn that into a career. I don't know. It seems like some other people are doing it, and so I started out at the University of New Haven with Tony Sperano, who was the head coach of the Dolphins for a little bit. And it was a great learning experience from a great teacher and a great coach. And then you start to feel your impact on young people and how you impact their lives and how you can become at the young stage, you're the big brother figure. And then as you get older, you become the father figure and the guy that can help them get through some tough times. The loss of a loved one. We just had a young man lose his dad to cancer this weekend. And just be able to be there for him, to know that he's not there by himself, and trying to go through it. And our team was there. I think those are the reasons you get into coaching, because you see those success. You have a lot of disappointments, but man, we focus a lot on the successes and the wins that we have when it comes to developing young men. And I think it always feels good when guys are calling you back 10, 15 years after you coached them, and just saying hello or checking in, or seeing how your son's doing. I think those things are all incredible ways and reasons to get into the profession. Now, the recruiting end of it, and the transfer portal, and NILs and all that stuff. I just don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. It's all new, so I think it's going to change the way we interact with players, which I don't really like. I don't mind the NIL. I think it's a great thing. I think players should have the ability to use their name, image, and likeness to make money. I don't think that's something that's wrong. I think, but I do think the way that people are using it in recruiting and things of that nature is, it's going to change the relationships with players.
100%. And that's why it's forcing you to really recruit your guys every day because of that
Yeah,
and
amen.
that underbelly that you did we know is out there, But I think those who can really build relationships with young men will be the ones that's most successful, because at the end of the day, that's what matters. If the guy
Yeah.
likes you, he trusts you, he knows you have his back, I think that will win out over just the dangling of a carrot. I hope and I
Yeah,
pray.
I think so. I think at this level it should, which is the reason, why I kind of moved back into this level, is I think there's a little bit more ground level type of relationships that you're going to develop.
And Coach P, last one for you. I know Beaumont has some great food down there, man. What's been
Mm.
some of the best food spots you've had since you've been in town there with Lamar?
I mean, Crazy Cajun is a great place. You don't realize the Cajun influence in Southeast Texas. I mean, essentially it is Southwest Louisiana. I mean, we're only 45 minutes from the border, and you got great boudin down here and crawfish boils and all kinds of things that make it Southeast Texas. And then you got great, crazy good Tex-Mex, and It's a place called Bruno's in Beaumont, which is really good Italian restaurant. So they do a lot of things really, really well in Beaumont. When I got some bad information as I was coming down here that, the food might not be as good as it was in New York or in Nashville or places like that. And I haven't found that at all. I found, a lot of blessings in Beaumont, as far as the people that you meet, a lot of pride in being from Southeast Texas. And, I feel really good about where I'm at right now and the people that I'm with and the people that we're interacting on a daily basis. The food's been great, man. I haven't lost a pound since I've been here. So that tells you.
Hey man, sounds good to me, man. I got to come down there and see you all play. I've been above my 4 times in my life. I'll make it a fifth time to come down there and see you all play, Coach Pete. Now I'm gonna get your number offline so we can stay in contact with each other as well because I really love your spirit, man. I definitely want to help you out as much as I can, Coach Pete.
Thanks, boss. Appreciate it, man.
Anytime, folks. That's Lamar head coach. Coach Pete, we've been up on the Bossman, man. So check those guys out in Beaumont, Southern Conference.
Thanks, boss. Take care.
Thanks, Coach.